Hi Tyler, Tori, and Jordan, it's me, Moana. I wanted to send you this very special message because I heard that you guys have been being so good while spending some extra time at home this summer. I also heard that my good friend Elsa gave you a very special message too. Well, if it's okay with you guys, I'd like to read you a story as well. In the beginning, there was nothing but ocean. Then the mother island Te Fiti emerged. From her heart, all life was created. One of the new islands was called Motunui. Protected from the ocean waves by a barrier reef, the island was a paradise for its people, and all those who called Motunui home were bound together by traditions and legends. One of the most famous legends told of Maui, a shape-shifting demigod with a magical fishhook. Like many others, he believed Te Fiti's heart held life-giving power. Taking the form of a hawk, Maui flew to the mother island and stole the heart of Te Fiti. When we were kids, my grandma Tala always used to tell us these stories. She explained to us how Maui tried to escape, but he was confronted by Te Kā, a demon of earth and fire. In the battle, Maui lost both the heart and his fishhook. With the heart gone, a terrible darkness spread across the world. Our grandma Tala told us it would continue to spread, draining the life from island after island. The other kids were scared, but I loved hearing those stories. When I was really little, I was still always just drawn to the ocean. One time, I was trying to guide a little turtle back, and the ocean presented me with a green stone. My dad, Chief Tui, called for me and came and grabbed me from the shore, but I dropped the green stone. My grandma saw it, and she kept it for me for when I was older. As I grew up, so did my love for Motunui and its people, as well as my connection to the ocean. My father groomed me to be the best chief that I could possibly be. When I turned 16, he took me to the highest peak on the island, and that is where he told me that as he did before me and as his father and grandfather did before him, I would also place a stone on the stone tower to when I became chief. When I heard the village council talking about how fish were growing scarce in our bay, I thought, why don't we broaden our horizons? So I went with my grandma Tala, and I felt discouraged after I capsized my boat, but she showed me to this cavern where there was a ton of ships from our history on the island, and I realized that we used to be voyagers too, but I wondered why we stopped. She explained to me that Maui is to blame. She presented me with a stone and told me that the ocean chose me to fix everything that was happening. Soon after that, she became very ill and passed away. I quickly went and chose a ship from the cavern and went on my way with my stowaway, Hehe. A storm hit and it tossed me onto Maui's island. He had been marooned for 1,000 years looking for a way to escape so he could recover his magical fishhook. Without the hook, he had no shape-shifting powers. I told Maui that he must go with me to restore the heart of Te Fiti, but he was only interested in bragging about his great feats, like pulling up the sky, lassoing the sun, and bringing fire to humans. "You're welcome," he told me. He took my boat and left me on the island, but the ocean helped me catch up with him. I held up the heart and told him that I am Moana of Motunui. "You will journey to Te Fiti and restore the heart." He backed away and told me that that was not a heart, it was a curse. Without warning, a spear slammed into our canoe, and it was the Kakamora, which were vicious little bandits wearing coconut armor. After we battled them, we went on our way. Maui was paralyzed from a spear hitting him, so he taught me how to sail by just talking. He told me that we needed to go get his hook, but it was in Lalotai, the dreaded realm of monsters. There was only one way into the mysterious world, and it was to scale a 1,000-foot cliff and jump down a chute all the way through the ocean. Lalotai was really dark and mysterious, full of glowing plants and geysers that blasted through the watery ceiling. It wasn't long before Maui spotted his fishhook stuck to Tamatoa's shell, along with the rest of the giant crab's collection of shiny items. Maui charged in and grabbed his hook. "It's Maui time," he cried. Then Maui tried to shapeshift into a hawk. Instead, he became a bug, then a pig. He told me that it never happens to him, the demigod said in shock. Tamatoa pinned him to the ground. To distract the monster, I held up the heart of Te Fiti, and then I dropped it into a crevice. So Tamatoa scattered after the shiny stone while I ran to help Maui. But I had tricked him. because I had just painted rock with glowing paint. I guided Maui to a geyser hole, and whoosh, we were out. I knew that Maui needed to regain his full strength to fight Taka, but the demigod couldn't master the hook's shape-shifting power, and it seemed like he was giving up. As he moped, I asked about one of his special tattoos, and he told me that he had human parents. He explained his whole life story, and I told him that maybe the whole reason the ocean sent me to him is to help him see that he is more than his parents thought he was. My words touched Maui, and he began practicing with the hook and got better and better. And as he regained his shape-shifting abilities, he taught me more about wayfinding. At last, Maui felt ready. I used my new wayfinding skills to sail my boat straight to Te Fiti. I told him we could fix it. Around, and my grandma said, "Listen to the voice inside. Do you know who you are?" And just then, I began slowly. "I am the daughter of the village chief. We are descended from voyagers." And as my voice grew stronger, I realized I am Moana, and I have made it this far. I can't turn back. I dove into the ocean, swimming deeper and deeper in search of the heart. At last I saw it glowing at the bottom, and I kept going until I finally had it. When I came back, my grandma Tala and everything else was gone. I knew what I had to do, so I repaired my boat and sailed back to face Taka on my own. I steered toward an opening between the barrier islands, heading for Te Fiti. I noticed that Taka couldn't move through the water. That meant that if she got past the barrier islands, I'd make it to Te Fiti. But the lava monster brought down a fist again. I dodged the blow and turned toward another gap. When Taka cut me off, I doubled back. It was all part of my plan. At last, I made it through, but Taka launched a lava ball that capsized my boat. Taka's hand was poised over me, ready to deliver a final blow. Suddenly, Maui appeared and knocked the monster's fists away. I cried, "Maui, put your hook." And Maui held up the cracked hook and nodded. "Some things are more important," he said. "I've got your back. Go save the world." And I told him thank you. I reached Te Fiti and scrambled up a slope, but something was wrong. The island was gone. I turned and saw that Taka had completely smashed Maui's fishhook, and for the first time, I noticed a glowing spiral on Taka's chest. I held the heart of Te Fiti over my head and spoke to the ocean. "Let her come to me." The water parted, opening a path that led straight to Taka. The monster raced towards me. Very calmly, I began to sing. My song echoed what Grandma Tala had taught me my whole life and what I'd learned about myself. The words seemed to affect Taka, who eventually slowed down. "I know who you are," I told Taka. Then I placed the heart in the glowing spiral, and Te Fiti emerged. I gave Maui my parents at the water's edge to welcome me and Heihei. Keep making silly TikTok videos, practicing karate, and make sure to give Kobe, your dog, a big Hawaiian hug from me. And have so much fun visiting your cousins next week. Bye, friends!